hypocrite on the force right now.
Bobby,
Yeah, same shit.
Judas Squealer?
Yeah.
Crikey?
Too late, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, can you name me Yeah, he's looking down dispatch right now.
I'm literally
Russell
not.
doesn't have to. He remembers the name of every person he spoke to during the campaign. You would know that if your candidate did half the amount of campaigning that he did. But instead, you decided to back an idiot who's got like
You
12
guys are a
felonies.
joke. Straight up.
Rami, you don't have a bar license. Stop speaking to me.
Literally no one cares. Literally no
Order in our court.
He does care. He wouldn't be answering.
One more time. The panel in this matter has reached a verdict. We have all parties present here?
Prosecution's present, Your Honor.
Defense is present.
Defense is present.
We have reached a verdict in this matter. Before we begin, however, we would be remiss to not acknowledge the passing of the council treasurer, Terrence Walker.
The murder.
And we offer our condolences to his friends, family, and loved ones.
I can't hear him at all.
And we wish you peace and comfort in the days to come.
He's talking about peace and comfort.
At this time, we're going to go ahead and review the charges. We'll start with the more simple charges that weren't particularly argued. The hot gun charges for Mr. Levy and for Mr. Dumbass. The defendants pled not guilty to these charges. And outside of the questioning of Officer Decker, where he went individual by individual asking if they possessed a weapon, if it was hot, etc., they largely weren't addressed in explicit detail. However, we reviewed the evidence and found that the weapons found on the defendants come back to incidents outlined in reports number 6147, 6052, 6051, and 6050. For reference, that is the people's F, the people's I, the people's J, and the people's G. The evidence indicated in this report indicates that those weapons were used in the incidents that were outlined. Therefore, Mr. Levy and Mr. Dumbass will be guilty of the charges laid forth for them for their hot gun, which would be 4 times criminal use of a firearm and 1 time accomplice to robbery. We reviewed the evidence further and found that all 6 individuals have possessions documented, that they were carrying Class 1 firearms. It's rather simple. All 6 individuals will be found guilty of the charge of 1 count of criminal possession of a firearm Class 1. Now, with regards to the 26 times attempted murder of a government employee, I'm going to break this down so that we can quantify all of them one by one. Evidence exists with blood on file for 14 police officers that were shot during the shootout. Jack Voss, Maeve Wolf, Captain Slacks, Bradford, Vivian Gray, Daft, Coyote, Bayweather, Maxwell, Riker, Decker, Johnson, and On Fire. That accounts for 14 officers that were shot on scene. There's also blood on scene for council member Cletus Cornwood. That makes 15. The video evidence clearly shows the shooting of the other council members, clerks, and civilians. In the video, we can clearly see that the mayor, deputy mayor, chief justice, or sorry, not the deputy mayor, chief of staff, had a bar was shot at, and the remaining council were shot, minus TJ Walker. Upon doing the math, this adds up to the 26 counts to accomplice of attempted murder of a government employee when you factor in county clerks Leah Strong and Alex Mushkin-Dahman. The defendants being GSR positive, being apprehended on scene, and being in possession of the weapons utilized in the shooting will thus be found guilty of 26 counts of accomplice to attempted murder of a government employee, as well as 3 counts to accomplice to attempted second-degree murder for the shootings of City Gamwich, Kiki Pendragon, and the shooting at Ursula Leichenberg. Further, defendants Kevin, El Rahman, Levy, and Pistone will be found guilty of the charge of prison break. It's fairly straightforward, pertaining to the incident where they were brought out of prison and did not return when they were broken out of that bus. It's fairly simple what happened. They chose to go on the run. They will be found guilty for that at this time. Coming down to the hold until trial level charges, kind of the meat of the bones here. I want to start off by addressing the murder of a government employee, and Judge Angel will address the terrorism. We've reviewed the evidence, and it is clear that the gunman that stormed City Hall shot Terrence Walker. Terrence Walker was then incapacitated and injured and is seen to be left laying on the ground for an extended period of time. He then is brought to the hospital where a litany of medical care happens, and a defense is brought forward, in this instance by the defense. Arguments that the act that led to Mr. Walker's death was not the shooting, but rather was the application of a defibrillator or AED to his brain. This is unconventional, and it was testified to as such by doctors Ryan Wilson and medical liaison Philip Akanch. But medicine is not a perfect science. And with the findings upon reading through the surgery reports from Dr. Ivy Grayson, as well as all medical documentation on file, we three have come to the conclusion. AED or not, Mr. Walker would not have been in the situation where that was even remotely a possibility had he not been shot by the individuals in question. Further reading through the medical reports, it is clear to us that this was a last resort method that was given. It did not inherently kill Mr. Walker, and he was likely to pass, regardless of whether it had been performed or not. Therefore, the defendants will be found guilty of accomplice to murder of a government employee. I will pass to Judge Angel now.
Thank you. Now, with regards to terrorism, this charge was one that took the most deliberation and the most consideration when going over the actual, not only the actual wording of the law, but also what it means to commit terrorism. To keep it simple, we applied a simple 3-prong test to go through and determine if the actual wording of the charge was met and whether or not what had occurred would actually apply and be considered terrorism. Now, if you actually are familiar with the charge, you may know that there's 2 sections to it. The first section applies to the civilian population, and the second applies to government entities, which is what we're going to be focusing on.
I wasn't AFK.
Now,
I was
this
leaning back in my
section
chair.
explicitly states that the unlawful use of extreme violence and intimidation against government entities that would pursue the disruption, destabilization, or destruction of those entities for political or religious aims would be considered terrorism. In our considerations, we looked over what actually took place at the event itself, as well as statements that were made by the alleged suspects of the crime. And we determined that their actions did lead to the disruption, the destabilization, and the destruction of the government entity. And it ultimately did have a political aim, and it did lead to the destruction, it did lead to the disruption of the meeting itself. We believe that that is enough to determine that there was a political aim, and we will be finding them guilty of terrorism as well.
Hey, good call.
Oh man.
Now on to the sentence. The prosecution have requested 10 years in Bolingbroke Penitentiary and 10 years of parole, as well as set fines for each. I'm going to go through and and list out what we'll be doing instead. All defendants will receive the same prison sentence. It will be a total of 5 years in Bolingbroke Penitentiary and 5 years on parole upon their release, or government mandated. Mr. Levy and Mr. Pistone will receive credit for 3 units served. They will serve 2 more each. The other defendants will receive 3 additional units in prison. The fines will be as follows. Mr. Levy, you are receiving $217,364 in charges which aren't the HUD, and an additional $150,000 for the whole till trial, for a total of $367,634. Mr. Dumbass, $211,114 in charges without the hold until trial, plus 150,000 will come out to $361,114. Mr. K, it'll be a total of $348,489. And then Rami, Vinny, and Taco will all have the flat fines of $345,364. That is the ruling of this court this time, and this hearing is adjourned.
This shit about to get ugly.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, honors.
Time to round them on up. Time to go to prison. Look how quiet they are. Stop talking shit. Real quiet. Real fucking quiet over there.
He's
Look at Turgle. Look at Turgle immediately here.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm out of cuffs? Okay.
Daddy's gone.
Oh
Okay.
my
Nick,
God,
get
why
him.
am I being tased? What the fuck?
Can we fleeing felon them?
Oh shit!
Dolo.
Oh my God! I'm getting... Oh shit!
They're not armed.
Placing you in cuffs, Dolo.
Oh shit! What's going on?
As I'm gonna place you in cuffs.
They're not armed
Stop.
yet.
Stop fidgeting around. Come on. Turn around.
Looks like they're going to the back. They're going to the back. To the west, to the west, to the west, to the west.
Dolo.
I believe K is outside, if I'm not mistaken. We hit him once. Which one's K?
I need to confirmation.
Focus
Red Raiden. He's gonna get in that Red Raiden.
Rami's running. Rami's running as well. He's been tased.
Careful with the Raiden right now. Raiden's trying to leave.
Beat any of them down if you can.
I don't think anybody went into that Red Raiden. I didn't see anybody get in.
No one got in. Was at the back of the courthouse.
Break! Break! Beat them down!
Can I be sent up and shit, man? Or what?
Say yes, sir!
Out the door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Charges. I'm pressing charges. I want
up and
Decker.
leave.
No, Decker.
You heard the orders. Beat him down.
Arrest her.
If they try to
Worry about her later.
What you mean later? I'm pressing
Cheating
charges.
asshole.
Leave. Stay in here.
Wait, quick update. Put the rest inside. Are they getting cuffed?
Okay.
Yeah, keep him in here for the
Peanut's
time
been.
being.
He's
out. Rami.
Alright, Solo's down the
Okay.
stairs. Solo's going downstairs. Tackle him. Whoever's next to him right now, he's going down the stairs.
The man in white and the cornrows is
Rami's down. Rami's down.
interfering.
Alright, hold on. Zolo's running to the west. Zolo is running to the west. I need a, yeah.
Keep calling it.
No, all black suit. All black suit. Right now, he's pulling up to the tailgater. All black suit has the braids. Might not look like Zolo.
Where's the
You got him,
tailgater?
Daft. You got him, Daft.
Which way?
Thank you all for your time.
You nailed it.
Where do you want?
Where do you want me to bring Rami, guys?
Bring him to the courtroom.
Black color sports car on the west right now, trying to push through.
I need protection.
Thank you.
I'm protecting you, Cook.
Daft, you got him?
Thank you, Your Honors.
If there's any units free, I need backup pushing over Rami.
Where's me? I'm still in custody right now. Good shit. Okay, so the only one. Where's Vinny and Zolo?
We got Zolo. Where's Vinny?
I'm not sure about Vinny. We got Zolo being escorted inside right now.
Okay, Vinny was apparently being down, but now he poofed.
Black tailgater pulling in right now from the west.
Okay, so just hold on. Less confusion. So that means that the only one missing right now is Zolo and Vinny and Mr. K, correct?
Yeah, A-firm.
Scour inside for Vinny. We know Mr. K's got into a car and is fucked off somewhere. Focus on what we have inside. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Black tailgater, shoot him. Black tailgater